what's up guys? So I know my last few videos have been all about Shazam mostly. but
This one.
But that's okay because they keep getting better. We keep getting better things to see with each video. So
one more with this one.
Now we have some high-res, good quality pictures up close from the front of Zachary Levi in the Shazam suit on set of the Shazam movie. And now I can say I love his suit. I knew that it would look better in, like, you know, good quality, high quality, and stuff like that. But wow, these pictures make such a huge difference compared to the ones that we've gotten over the past, like, week or so. And it looks great. It's vibrant, it's saturated color, it's textured, it's, oh my goodness, it looks so good. The lightning bolt has a good, like, golden color to it. He looks bigger in these pictures as far as, like, his you know, more muscular and stuff like that in these pictures. I'm sure some of it's probably the suit. All of these suits have at least a little bit of padding in them, but still, a lot of people are like, oh, he's too skinny, he's too skinny. He fills out this suit, in my opinion. Like I said, I know some of it's probably the suit, but still, it looks like he fills it out pretty well. Yeah, it looks good. It looks so much better than the other pictures that we got. It makes a huge, huge difference in high resolution, good quality pictures compared to the other ones that we had. And I knew that it would, but man, it's like a totally different suit in these pictures than in the other ones. And even in that video that I did my last video on, the person that was recording outside of their building, because they were filming outside their building and they were recording, which you could tell that was kind of from a distance also, and they're probably like behind, you know, a window. So, you know, even in that, it looked better, but it didn't look this good. This is like, oh, now I'm even more excited to see the officially released suit reveal picture. Whatever they decide to release. I really want them to, I want to see him with his hood on. I know we will eventually, but I'm like, now that I know how good this suit really looks, I really want to see him with the hood on. Up close, if you zoom into one of them, the closest one, the one that's like really close up, the texture almost reminds me of Superman's suit, which of course they can't do like an exact replica of that kind of texture because his suit's supposed to look Kryptonian, and so obviously Shazam's suit's not going to look Kryptonian, but it kind of reminds me of that really beautiful texture that Henry Cavill's Superman suit has, and, you know, the really good quality material. So I don't think anyone has anything, I don't think anyone can say anything bad now about this suit because it looks amazing. The colors are great. He fills it out. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. And these are not like posters or anything like that, you know, that are retouched and added all this effects and stuff like that. So if it looks this good up close in a high resolution, just a high resolution picture, it's not, you know, a poster or promotional picture, then that means in those promotional pictures and posters, it's going to look even better. And on screen, it's going to look amazing too. And we'll have to see what they add to his bolt in the movie to give it some kind of like animation, not animation, but, you know, it's going to have some kind of effect to it, I'm sure. Well, I'm guessing. Based on that tweet about that, from that person that said that they saw it on set and that it has something on it that they're guessing is going to make it look cool in the movie. But it makes sense for them to do something like that to his lightning bolt since he has those kind of powers. It looks great. It looks like it's the same scene that was in the video that person recorded with the bus, and there's a police car there. They're outside in the snow. That's what it looks like in these pictures as well. So yeah, I wanted to share those, and because I just saw them right now, since Geek Vibes Nation, the other channel that I'm on, they tagged me in these pictures, and it looks amazing. So Also, I got a viewer request to talk about my thoughts on why we don't have a Man of Steel 2 movie yet, and why we don't really know anything about the Batman movie except the fact that it's going to be directed by Matt Reeves and it's a noir film. It's going to be. Even though we've already known that for like a long time already, because, you know, Ben Affleck decided not to direct or produce it a long time ago, and they got Matt Reeves, etc. And he made his comments on what kind of movie they want to do with it. As far as Man of Steel 2, it bothers me that we don't have a sequel yet, or that we don't even know when we're going to get one, because it's already been a long time. When did they come out? 2013? Yeah, 5 years. And yes, we've gotten some great films since then, but I don't know. I guess BVS is sort of a sequel to Man of Steel, but it's not a Man of Steel solo movie. So I guess it can be considered a sequel. But as far as a Man of Steel solo movie, I really, really want one. Like, I love Man of Steel. I love that movie. I love it. Every time I watch it, I don't get tired of it. It's still just as beautiful and captivating to me now as it was the first time I watched it. And I love the movie. I love Zack Snyder's interpretation of Superman. I love Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman. I love everything about it, okay? And it just, I think that part of the reason could be because of the unexpected, well, not really unexpected. They did kind of expect, I think, to get some backlash for it, just because Zack Snyder took a risk in having Superman kill Zod. And, be nice, Avery. Let her see it. I think it has to do a lot with that, because there's people that have said the ending ruined the whole movie for me. So in other words, you were enjoying the movie the first time watching it until the very end when he kills Zod. So that one thing ruined the entire movie for you? I can understand that some people have an issue with it because it's surprising to see in a live action. But let's remind ourselves, in the Richard Donner, Christopher Reeve's Superman film, Superman 2, he killed Zod. He didn't snap his neck, but he threw him powerless off of a cliff. Okay? A powerless Zod. Not a Zod that was pretty much in equal power to him, like the Zod in Man of Steel. And we could even say that the Zod in Man of Steel was almost even more powerful than this Superman, because he was trained and he was bred to be a warrior. So he was on another level compared to Clark. Had never done anything like that before. Yeah, he was powerful, but he had never encountered someone like him before, much less someone who was bred to be a soldier, you know. So anyway, I'm not going to go into all of that because I've talked about it a lot. But anyway, I think it has to do with that. I think it has to do with the fact that people responded somewhat negatively. A lot of people, not everybody. Of course, we have all those Man of Steel lovers out there like myself. But it got negative feedback, and it's, you know what? It's hard to do Superman because, excuse me, he's so overpowered. He's such an overpowered character that they can write anything in a script and it would be possible for him because of his character. So Superman, up until Man of Steel, was hard for people to relate to just because he's not like everyone else. Granted, yes, he's a superhero. There's other superheroes that are not just regular vigilantes like humans like Batman. But he's so overpowered, all he has is kryptonite as his weakness. So it's like they can just write anything in and make him do it because he's Superman. And people don't relate to that, and, you know, they don't relate to this guy that's, everything's perfect for him all the time and everybody loves him. And, you know, Zack Snyder deconstructed him. He gave him challenges. He gave him raw emotion and, you know, things that challenged what he's supposed to do, what he's supposed to be. You gave him hard decisions to make, like not saving his dad. And people didn't like that. People didn't like the fact that he had challenges and that he had obstacles and that he wasn't perfect and that everyone didn't love him. And then people got even more pissed off about that in BVS, you know, when BVS came out. So I think that that's the main reason why there's not a Man of Steel 2 yet. Because they're not going to be able to, they can't please enough people with this version of Superman that Zack Snyder started. And quite frankly, the way that Warner Brothers, I'm not going to say Zack Snyder, the way that WB just tried to completely change him in Justice League, I think there's less people now that want to see a Man of Steel 2 movie, because if you liked Man of Steel and BVS, he was completely different in Justice League for the most part. The stuff that was obviously reshot because his mouth is all jacked up. That reshoot Superman stuff, I don't think people nowadays want to see that in a Man of Steel movie, in another Superman solo movie. That worked for the Richard Donner films in the 70s, 80s, whatever. That's what was relevant back then. You know, there weren't really superhero movies back then. Yes, everyone will always love Christopher Reeves, and that's fine. Superman, that's fine. But why are you going to keep making the same kind of movie over and over and over again 40 years later? No, you don't. No, like, you got to try something different. You know what? They tried to do a, you know, carbon copy of the Christopher Reeves movie, Superman, when they did Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. And that was a major bust. That movie was not successful at all. Did it have a higher Rotten Tomatoes score? Yeah, but that obviously doesn't mean anything because it made no money. And he was supposed to be the kind of Superman that Christopher Reeves was in the Richard Donner films. And it's not a good movie. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's not. It has some good cast members, but, you know, they could have done so much better after not having a Superman movie for decades. And why they spend so much money on that movie, I will never understand, but there's some cool things in it. But overall, it's just, I'm sorry. Man of Steel is like no Superman movie that we've ever had before, and people couldn't handle it. And they just think that every Superman movie should be like Christopher Reeves' Richard Donner film. But why would you have the same movie over and over again? No! So I think the main reason is just because, you know, the way people responded to the first Man of Steel movie and to Superman in BVS. It's just going to be hard to please people with a Superman movie. I would love to see another Man of Steel movie that's a Zack Snyder Man of Steel movie. That's what I would like to see. I know it's not going to happen, but that's what I would like to see. I don't know when we're going to get it. I don't know. I have no idea. It's unfortunate that we don't know. We already know that we're getting a Flashpoint movie, a Wonder Woman 2 movie, all these other movies, Suicide Squad 2. Like, we already know when they're gonna, but we don't know anything about Man of Steel 2 or Batman, to be honest. So, as far as the Batman movie, I don't know why they haven't said anything else about it. Like, we don't know anything about it. When they're gonna start filming, who's gonna be Batman, first of all. I don't want Ben Affleck to leave. However, I don't blame him if he does, just because of all the BS that's happened with Warner Brothers, and meddling in their films and stuff like that. Because Zack Snyder brought all these people on, and he specifically chose each one of them for these characters, and, you know, he brought Ben Affleck on to be a certain kind of Batman. And again, in Justice League, Warner Brothers was like, nope, we gotta change all that. We gotta distance ourselves as much as possible from BVS. This Batman that everyone, for the most part, loved. Finally, people loved this Batman. And, you know, not only the Michael Keaton Batman, because that's pretty much the only Batman everyone has liked, for the most part, and Christian Bale. But people have loved Ben Affleck's Batman, for the most part. Like I said, I know that there's BVS haters out there, but I'm talking about the fans that have loved him as Bruce Wayne and as Batman. And then again, in Justice League, they just try to make him not Batman. And I mean, I don't think that that would be a problem with, I mean, Matt Reeves wants to do like a noir film, like a detective driven film, which makes sense for Bruce Wayne, you know. So, but that's all I know. Like, I don't know why they haven't said anything about it. Is it again because of backlash from BVS? I don't know. Is it because Ben Affleck is not sure if he wants to commit to the Batman role, which he's kind of gone back and forth when he's asked about it. Like, yes, I'm Batman, and it's the best role ever. You know, it's the best gig in the world. It's the best job I could ask for. I would, you know, I would play, what did he say? I would play an ape or something for Matt Reeves since he did Planet of the Apes. Like, he's talked about how much he loves this role and that it's the best role ever. But then he's also kind of been hesitant to say, you know, I'm not sure if I want to. He's been hesitant to say that I'm making a full commitment. Just because when all the drama and stuff started happening with Justice League, I think that probably had a big effect, you know, impact on that. Because these superhero roles, a lot of actors don't want to commit to them because they're such a huge commitment. There's so many movies that you end up having to be in, and it is a big commitment. So I get that. But, however, I'm sure he knew that when he signed on to do BVS, because I'm sure Zack Snyder told him this whole vision that he has for his character, how he wants him to develop, how he wants him to, you know, evolve. So I'm sure, you know, obviously he knew it wasn't probably just going to be BVS, Justice League, and the Batman film. Yeah, he had a cameo in Suicide Squad, but I'm talking about, like, major parts. I'm sure he knew that it was going to be this big commitment. What? Okay. They know that they know that. But I think that he wanted to go along more with what Zack Snyder had in mind and what they had, you know, what they had planned. And then when all this stuff started happening with Justice League, he's probably like, why am I going to commit to this when they won't even let us do what we're trying to do? You know, I'm not saying that that's the case. That's just my guess. So I know there's been some rumors about certain people that might play in the you know, take over. I know some people think that the Flashpoint movie is gonna like bring in a new Batman, which is possible, but I don't know. They could use it as a way to bring in a new Batman or a new Bruce Wayne. I don't know. Because if they are gonna do Flashpoint, then I don't know, whenever he goes back to his original timeline, something's gonna have to be different. Like, that's always how it happens with time travel, and when Barry changes something, when he goes back in time, and, you know, stuff changes when he goes back to his regular timeline, universe, whatever you want to call it. So I know a lot of people are thinking that that's going to be a way for them to bring in a new person to play Bruce or Batman, but I don't know. I'm going to be disappointed if we don't have Ben Affleck anymore. But I'm also going to understand, I will understand his reason for it. Whatever he chooses to say. If they come out and make an official confirmed announcement that he's not going to be Batman anymore, we would have to see the reason he would give for it, but I would understand after all this crap that happened with Warner Brothers and Justice League and Zack Snyder. I would understand. But that's my thoughts on it. I hope that they tell us something. I mean, at least tell us if it's going to be Ben Affleck or not. At least, you know, and where it kind of falls in the priorities of their movie lineup. But yeah, I just wanted to share that since I got that as a viewer request topic. And thanks for the suggestion also. Check out the links in the description. Check out my geek merchandise and like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.